Today, a fire rips through a business.
I'd have to say, like, wow, they were colorful, like purples and greens. It's like, what's going on here?
Plus, details about the survivors of this house fire.
WKGM Pulse News. Live from downtown Winnipeg with Kelly Evans. Sitting in, Trevor Pascal.
Good afternoon, thanks for joining me. Fire crews were called to two blazes in Winnipeg Monday night. A blaze on Logan Avenue had destroyed a business, causing an estimated $500,000 in damage. The call came out at about 8:40 p.m. Monday, and crews responded to the fire at Logan Radiator in the 1800 block of Logan Avenue. Officials said the shop was closed at the time when the fire had started, and no one was inside. Crews faced several obstacles, including chemicals and compressed gases inside. Those hazards caused small explosions.
I'd have to say, like, wow, they were colorful, like purples and greens. It's like, what's going on here?
The intensity of the fire for the first 10 minutes when the fire started, we're worried about the integrity of the building, so we're worried about it collapsing, so we've removed the crews to 1.5 times the perimeter of the building for their safety.
Several vehicles were also inside the shop when it went up in flames. This past summer, police said the business was one of the addresses targeted during an ongoing biker war. There were two fires at the location, including one on June 10th and one on July 16th. Temperatures also dipped to -30 with the wind chill while crews battled the fire Monday night. The cause of the fire remains under investigation by the arson strike force. And only hours earlier, a blaze in the two-story home in the 200 block of Tecumseh Street forced people out onto the street. Crews responded to the fire shortly after 6 p.m. Monday. Officials said 3 adults and 3 teens were inside when the fire had started, but all made it out safely and no one suffered any injuries. The house was completely destroyed. The fire and damage estimated at $250,000. The cause of this fire also remains under arson investigation. Well, Winnipeg police and the family of a 19-year-old Dominic McCain are appealing for the public's help in an investigation into her death. She was found injured around 6:30 a.m. in the 400 block of Selkirk Avenue on December 2nd and was rushed to hospital but had later died. On Monday, police said McCain's death was being treated as suspicious and under investigation by the homicide unit. Now, family had last saw McCain on November 30th. Officers are trying to retrace the days and hours leading up to the young woman's death from Wednesday to early Friday morning. Both police and the family are now asking anyone with any information about McCain's case to come forward, and anyone with any information regarding this case is asked to contact investigators at 986-6508 or Crime Stoppers at 786-TIPS. Well, the Manitoba government will bypass the Chief Lake St. Martin First Nation and deal directly with evacuees from the flooded reserve to get them.
They promised us this location at the base and we do not want it.
Finally relocated. The province isn't willing to wait any longer to move nearly 700 evacuees stuck in hotel rooms since early May. Eric Robinson, Manitoba's Regional Affairs Minister, said Friday morning. The latest development comes after Lake St. Martin's chief walked away from a relocation plan. That happened when the province rejected a bid from the company he leads to build houses at the site of an old radar base in Gibsonville, about 260 kilometers northwest of Winnipeg, not far from the reserve.
They're trying to move us to the interim site, which in my thought, they'll leave us there. Because they're giving these houses, why would they want to waste all this money to move these homes there and then to relocate them after?
We feel the interim village makes a lot of sense with the notion in mind that we have a permanent location for the citizens of the community. That's the view. And obviously, a lot of frustration exists within the community members, and rightly so. I don't blame them one bit.
A 60-40 profit split was set up with the First Nations through the chief and the council and a council of elders, according to a copy of the draft bid proposal to the province. It envisioned profits for community development. A silent partner was made by the minority shareholder, and he agreed to not withdraw his 40% of profits for a minimum of 2 years. Lake St. Martin First Nations is 255 kilometers northwest of Winnipeg. It's a low-lying community where residents say homes are mold-infested after years of overland flooding and seepage from a rising water table. This year's flood made the water problems worse, putting 15 homes outside a temporary dike built as lake levels rose. Well, it's time now for a look at your Skywatch weather forecast. Starting to look at our live conditions right now in Winnipeg. Currently minus 13 degrees outside right now, not too bad. The wind chill though, minus 24 degrees, so that's where we're going to see the cooler temperatures form. Of course, winds out of the west at 35 gusts up to 45, that's where we get the wind chill from. And your barometer is rising ever so slightly at 101.89 kilopascals. Relative humidity though, 65%. Looking at the day ahead today, well, minus 11 was our scheduled high by 4 o'clock, but a little bit below that, but we're not complaining. It's still sunny. By 9 o'clock, a few clouds will still be lingering out there. The winds, though, look at that west at 20. That's definitely a good improvement since what we've seen today. And then by midnight, a few clouds, minus 17 degrees for an overnight low. Not too bad by 8 o'clock tomorrow, though. 8 to 5 forecast, minus 19, nothing but sun. The wind's relatively pretty good throughout the day, northwest at 20 kilometers. And by 5 o'clock tomorrow, minus 14 degrees and mainly sunny skies. Let's take a look now at current conditions across the province. And still to come on WKGM Pulse News, where all that snow in Winnipeg ends up. Plus, I'll have a complete look at your extended Skywatch weather forecast. News First continues in minutes.
Women's clothing provided by RW & Company. Salon services provided by Oxford's Aveda Salon.
Welcome back, everyone. Starting us off is our weather picture sent to us by Janice Preety. She sends this one in as this bird tries to keep warm. Kind of cute little red head there. Not too sure of which kind of bird this is, but nonetheless, thanks for that picture. Janice, keep those weather pictures coming at Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca. Heading to tonight's conditions, blowing snow continues to be a factor in Churchill, and that winter-like conditions continues. Minus 23 for Churchill tonight. Same thing for Gillam. Minus 24 in Thompson, though you don't get that snow, which is good. Heading into parts of central Manitoba. Minus 24 for Thompson, minus 23 for Flin Flon, the Pas, minus 25 for you in Lynn Lake. Heading into central conditions, minus 24 for Swan River, minus 26 in Dauphin tonight. Same thing for Brandon, not too bad conditions. Heading into some more southern conditions. Well, the ballpark's minus 20. Same thing for Portage, Gimli, Winnipeg minus 21, minus 19 for Sprague. Heading over into northwestern Ontario, not too bad as well. Minus 17 for Kenora, Fort Francis, overnight lows of minus 19 tonight. Now tomorrow, Churchill, it's a bit of a different story. You're going to see some sun, but mostly cloudy conditions, minus 23. Thompson, you're seeing highs up to minus 17 degrees, and minus 19, nothing but sun for Gillam, which is really good. Minus 14 for Flin Flon, the Pas. Lynn Lake, highs up to minus 16 tomorrow. Central conditions, pair of minus 12s for Brandon and Dauphin, nothing but sun. Minus 13 for Swan River, respectively there. Minus 15 for Portage La Prairie, Gimli. That's pretty much the bulk of the southern Manitoba. Half, minus 14 for Winnipeg and Sprague tomorrow. And then pushing into northwestern Ontario, nothing but minus 14 and a few clouds. Heading into your 7-day forecast, minus 11 for tomorrow. Like I said, what we're focusing on is the weekend. Minus 3 degrees for Saturday and Sunday, nothing but sun. The only day that you're probably going to see snow, or I should correct myself, clouds rather, mix of sun and cloud, minus 7. I know lots of you are still praying for some snow. I know in December those cold temperatures should be mixed with some snow, but nothing in the forecast with snow. But a pair of minus 6s for Tuesday, Wednesday, heading into mid next week. And that is your headlines for this afternoon. For more information, log on to WKGMPulseNews.tk, or you can catch the latest news and weather tonight at 6 o'clock. Thanks for joining me. Have a great afternoon.
Which you can't throw to Jim. Ready, 5, stand by Pont over 47, with audio coming from 47.